Welcome back, everyone. In case you're new, we this is a
Got my
journey.
food now.
I've been taking Alec along a journey of Survivor from the first season all the way to now. Uh, we got up to episode 8 of All Stars. I have seen All Stars. He has not, so it's a thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Ethan
Well,
got voted out last time.
I haven't seen any. I haven't really seen any Survivor, so I don't know. I don't know nothing. But
Yes, it was
yes,
great.
Ethan's out. So all the previous champions are now out of the competition.
Ethan's on, more like Ethan's gone, right? So,
Ethan's on. Ethan's gone. Yeah, and we had a
so
nice conversation last time. It's like it's interesting trying to figure out Lex's strategy exactly. Because I think you made a really compelling case, and this is actually something this is one of the I don't want to say one of the only times, but this is the first time where I can really think that I was genuinely thinking about this like multiple times, multiple days after last week.
mhm.
Where I was just thinking like what was the play? What was the strategy? Because you made a really good point about like wouldn't it be helpful to have your friend, someone you can rely on going forward?
Mhm.
And it's like I can see the other perspective where it's like, well, yes, but I can also string other people along who are weaker than me, whereas you will be a considerable threat. If you get immunity, maybe you can't protect me, type of thing. But if I'm still one of the only strongest people in the competition and I get immunity, then or don't have so all bets can be off. If Ethan's still in the competition for him. So that's kind of my perspective on that. But I think you make a really good case because it's like I don't know. It's really kind of what you make of it in the moment.
Well, it's interesting. We haven't done this enough. I feel like we used to a lot of time we would say it was just the right move and dissect it more. Nowadays we're just kind of like saying this is what happened. But we haven't really challenged it too much. So
Yeah,
I feel like we should do that more.
I
Like
agree. Well, there hasn't been too much to like say
yeah, not
this
this
season.
season, but
Yeah, I agree.
um,
I agree. That is something I feel like we should talk about more. I think this is a perfect opportunity to do so.
because Survivor's always like
Mm,
there was always like every decision can be put in question. Like, is this the right
yeah,
move? Every little thing's a minor decision could have consequences. So it's like Lex's attitude is that it's all business.
hmm
It's nothing personal here. Separate personal from business. But I
yeah,
feel like almost you can get to a point where you're going too far in the business spectrum to
yeah.
where you're like blinded to the fact that like, oh, this is a friend I could have, and like it might not be as cool like business move
But
option to go with him, but it might be the better option.
but it seemed to work really well for Robot Man in
Brian,
Survivor. Brian in Thailand. Yeah.
what did
The
doing
business
business?
sort of. The business,
He
yeah.
said it was a business trip, yeah, but he also
Yeah.
didn't come back with people he knew. That's a whole different thing.
Yeah, that's true.
Like
Yeah.
he knew Ethan outside of the game. He knew, and he knows how Ethan plays.
Yeah.
He was never gonna betray him. So that's the
Yeah.
one thing where like the devil you know, right?
Yeah,
But
it's true. It's true. It's tough. I mean,
again,
yeah,
with anything in Survivor, it's always like you can say next week or 2 weeks from now, you can see how it pans out and be like, oh, that was
yeah.
a good move. That was the bad move, and then it's like,
Yeah. I will say it's a risky move. I understand it and I'm still of the perspective that I think it could pay off for him, but I don't know. It's hard
mm.
to say going forward. You put that doubt in my mind and now I'm like, I don't know, maybe it wasn't a good decision to do that. So, yeah.
I always
I
try
don't
to view everything objectively from the point in time, and not like be results oriented about anything.
Yeah.
Because you can go back in a lot of seasons and be like, that was a horrible move doing this one thing, because that's ultimately what led to your downfall. But like in that
Yeah.
moment in time, it's not so horrible
Yeah.
because it's like you can see the pros and cons of both. But then in
Yeah.
retrospect, it's like, oh, obviously that's where I went wrong,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
So
That's why it's great that this is an episodic show,
hmm
and that's how they're able to form through editing and various other cool techniques of television production. They can form narrative arcs, which is great because even though there is some narrative manipulation, and we've talked about that plenty of times on this, it's still interesting how even despite that, like stories kind of just play themselves out in this game. So
yeah,
it's pretty cool. Yeah.
it's great. Like it's a great thing about Survivor is like you can view it as a game, strictly like as a strategic game, but then there's
hmm
also like these overarching storylines that
Yeah.
pan out. you have redemption arcs. You have those kinds of emotionally driven things.
Yeah.
So it's cool. It's so many facets to the game. So if you want to join us for the reaction to the episode, feel free to do that in the description. There's a link, and then you can come back for the discussion afterwards. Worth noting, this is episode 10, so we skipped episode 9. I said I was going to go back and skim through and see if there's anything, and I didn't. But
okay.
I'm assuming
okay.
there isn't.
That's okay. I'm not offended. Yeah, there usually isn't much. We did it one time, and there wasn't really much of anything to even really talk about. So
yeah, I think Roger had a mini redemption arc in that episode because it was like weird. Like, if I remember it correctly, they had like retrospectives from jury members or like people that have been voted out somehow mixed in there. But yeah, I don't know. It's a closer look, and the way they described it was just the review. I think it is just because it's a longer season that they feel like they need to do that. But
they may have also potentially. I don't know if they do this much with Survivor, but I know with some TV shows they do like a little short break sometimes. Maybe that it's coinciding with a holiday or any other sort of reason. So they'll take a break in the middle of the season, and then when they're coming back, they'll reintroduce.
They didn't even acknowledge it in the preview. Like in the next episode, they were just talking about this episode 10. They weren't like, oh, stay tuned for a look back at previous scenes.
Yeah, which is interesting. But
all right, so see you then.
Tally ho!
There you have it. Jerry has put it out. Survivor episode 10.
Okay.
A little swap situation.
Mm-hmm.
And a miraculous swap, which resulted in everybody switching tribes, except for Amber stayed as the one lone Shapiran with the Mogo Mogos. So she was dead to rights. Dead to rights.
Yeah.
4-1, outnumbered.
But still.
Boston Rob, the Godfather move.
The Godfather move.
You take care of her, I'll take care of you.
Yeah, it was very.
And they literally, like, you wouldn't think such a small statement would have such an impact, where everybody was shooketh.
Yeah, everyone was like, we can't get rid of her because he's gonna be like horribly upset. We will incur his wrath, basically.
Yeah.
But if he upholds his favor, we can potentially exploit this in some way.
So what do you think? What do you think of that decision?
I mean, okay, so if they vote Amber out, so this ingratiates them to Rob, who has essentially command of that tribe, for more or less. So by doing so, by having some sort of favor with Rob, that gets him reanalyzing his position, because now he has people who did a favor for him that he may want to honor, as well as his old tribe mates, some of which he may want to weed out in favor of some people on the other tribe. So from his standpoint, it makes complete sense to try to make that deal. On the new Mogo Mogo side, it's a very risky maneuver, because now you are completely reliant on him upholding his side of what he said he would. And given that he is emotionally compromised, I feel like you would be able to I would say that the chance of that is greater, that he will want to uphold it because he is emotionally invested in that relationship. It's if they had voted Amber off, I feel like they are going to merge whenever that should happen at a potential disadvantage, because they're still at a disadvantage numbers wise. It's still 5-4.
It would have been 5-4.
Yeah.
Now it's 6-3. I mean
6-3. So it's banking on that deal. It's all banked on that deal, and it's tough. It's really tough. But if they didn't have If they just got rid of Amber, then they essentially are guaranteeing that they get taken out. While they are like lower numbers now, they are at least given a chance that some of them can make it further. It's
well. So what do you think? Are we going to merge next week? You think it's time?
I don't think the merge is coming this week. I actually don't think it is. I think that they're going to try to play out. They might want to try to play out these tribes for another. But I mean, that's been proven wrong for me before. There's sometimes where they do the switcheroony just for one vote and then they merge.
Well, how many do we have left?
9.
9. So 7 plus 2.
Yeah.
Is the jury? That's the jury plus the final 2.
We are at jury right now, so jury get kept off.
So we have to merge, right? For those numbers to make sense.
I mean, you would think so.
So let's assume we merge next time. We have It's 6-3 now.
Yeah.
So they're hoping that Boston Rob will uphold his end of the deal and that they'll be able to have some longevity that way.
Yeah.
But if they did vote out Amber, it would be 4-5. They'd still be at a disadvantage, numbers wise. But then you have the option of hoping that someone will flip over. One of those things.
Kathy could potentially, maybe. But even then, it's only even.
Yeah.
That's a risky move for Kathy to make.
Well, it wouldn't be even because.
Oh no, it wouldn't be.
Because it would flip over. It would just flip the numbers.
She would flip over to the other.
Well, not Kathy.
Yeah.
I mean, Kathy's
not
in the
Kathy,
minority.
Yeah, Kathy's. Yeah,
she would
I'm wrong person.
Maneuver someone.
Yeah.
Like the hope is always in that situation to find someone,
Yeah.
a crack, that someone's at the bottom of the totem pole, that kind of thing. And I mean, Kathy mentioned, I think it was Kathy that said, like, she doesn't think Rob is long for this game because he is so out front and center, you know. So maybe they would be willing to turn on him sooner rather than later.
Maybe.
It's what seems to be where she was coming from.
Yeah.
It's like why hitch ourselves to Rob if we don't think he'll last.
But I think they're banking on if they exploit the deal, if they're able to exploit the deal, they have a greater chance of stringing him along longer. From the other tribe mates. So it is really kind of there's so many moving parts, like there's so many things to consider, because while getting rid of Amber would make it so that the numbers are stronger and they may be able to pull somebody, it's that in of itself is also that is more of a I would say that would be more of a risk. And the reason that I would say that is because they have been given a deal. They have been provided information, even if it's a lie. That's more to go off of potentially than just at a whim. We don't know if anyone's going to flip because we don't have any information. We're just going into the new merge without any deals. This way, they're at least going in and a deal's been struck. So
it would be interesting, the reality where they had one more member at this point, or one where Shapiro had one less member, so that like if they voted out Amber, it would be even, because then it would be a lot. You would think, oh, maybe we should. Like, I feel like we have to because we're putting ourselves at their mercy completely. We'll be making our numbers lower. Yeah. And they could steamroll us if they wanted to.
Yeah,
but now it's like they're already in the minority regardless, so.
It's kind of a what have we got to lose by taking this chance, because if we take this chance, this might pay off well for us. If we didn't take the chance, then we're risking something that we don't have any information or any, like, guarantee of. I mean, technically speaking, there is no guarantee, but they at least have been. He came to them, like they didn't make the deal with him. It was he came to them out of desperation. You know,
it seems like it's a miracle that we got such an interesting outcome from this, because this is literally the most boring outcome you can have from a swap possible.
Yeah,
but switch all but one.
It's the narrative and the drama of the season. Like, this is what we're talking about when the episode started, like, where narratives are formed, and it's this relationship between Rob and Amber
story
starts being like a whole crux for the drama of this. That's, I mean, you can't write that. That's great. You know, that's super, super interesting. So,
but it's like, imagine how uninteresting it would have been if it was just like Alicia instead of
Alicia,
Amber.
yeah, it's like, okay, who cares? Yeah, it's almost like
She
well, we're
gets
getting
voted
rid of
out.
Alicia.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And there's no
yeah, it's
question.
just
I mean, you'd think in any situation, you have this is a layup. You have one tribe member you can just pick off here,
yeah,
and you'll do it. But this is like the timeline that Doctor Strange saw,
yeah,
where
exactly.
we could
Yeah,
see it going a
this
different
is
way.
the one. Yeah, no, it's just crazy. You know how the odds are very weird. Like it's very weird. The odds are. I mean, I'm sure somebody could calculate it out, but the odds are fairly high. Or I should say fairly low that anything like that specifically would happen. So
Hmm.
very impressive.
And they ultimately came down to Amber versus Jerry. And
Mhm.
Jerry's like just not being valued by her tribe has caught up to her finally.
Yeah, I mean she's kind of been not super valued by the tribe almost the whole time.
She's always just kind of been dragged along, and it's like,
yeah,
we'll use her. She's a number for us, but like we don't
yeah,
want her in the end game.
yeah,
So it's like that caught up to her.
yeah,
And it is sad that that's a hard pill for her to swallow. That she's literally valued
yeah,
so little that just one new person can come in, and they'll still want to vote her out over them.
yeah.
Like,
But hey, I mean, again, if it was someone else, wouldn't have sided with Alicia. You know,
yeah.
they probably wouldn't have said maybe with Rupert. I don't know.
Imagine
But
Rob does the same thing. Look out for her.
yeah, look out for Rupert.
Look out for Rupert.
I'll
I'll
look
take
out
care
for
of you.
I'll take care of you.
They're like, man, Rob will be pissed if we vote out Rupert here.
Yeah,
He loves that guy.
He loves him. He confessed in the moonlight. Yeah, that's just
Power.
what a fascinating. Lots and lots of strategy. This has been like the latter half of the season has been some of the most strategically complex Survivor that we've watched so far, and I'm here for it. I had said earlier this season was cursed. I go back on that. It has been now blessed by the chance gods have come and blessed us.
Yeah, I don't know, like traditional swap if we had like more mixed numbers of each tribe, it would have been interesting to see, but that probably would have boiled down to more of a numbers game in the end anyway. And then this one where it's like on paper it's awful. It's like really we just swapped the whole tribe and one difference and okay, they're done.
Yeah,
and that's exciting.
But again, it's the narratives is what make it, you know.
Yeah, so we did have the Survivor trivia competition. That's something they didn't really do before.
Yeah,
dipping
that
into
was
their
fun.
own, I guess in honor of All Stars, dipping into their own history.
I'm terrible with the names. Like I can't remember people from last season.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, think about it. There's been like almost 100 people now, or over 100 people that have played Survivor.
16 each season.
Yeah.
So 7 times that's 112.
Yeah, that's.
So, yeah.
I can't remember all those people's names, you know. So it's like. However, if I'm coming into an all-star season, that's something I feel like I personally would be prepped for. I'd be like, I need to know Survivor history. Like I need to like do some flashcards and stuff, like study.
Especially if you're gonna play with some of these people too. You want to know the players too.
Big time. So it was obviously it was a slam dunk for a lot of them because it was like, okay, well they have people on that tribe that were there.
Yeah,
but it was still funny.
What was
like,
Kel accused of smuggling in Australia?
In Australia, it was like Jerky Gate. Duh. There's always a gate. What was it? There's Jerky Gate.
First season there was no gate that we can recall.
No. Yeah.
Second season Jerky Gate. Third season is Bean Gate.
Bean Gate. Yeah. Bean Gate.
Baked beans. Fourth season
was
there a gate?
I felt like there was, but I don't remember. Bean Gate. But season 5's Ted Gandia incident.
Grind Gate, baby.
Grind Gate.
There also was a minor banana gate. I remember looking back on an episode recently.
Oh yeah.
Where like Rob Zabachnik took like bananas and like ate bananas when they weren't.
Oh yeah, we were like, are there two? Grind Gate and Banana Gate? What is this?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Amazon had the rapper.
Yeah,
The
it was
Rappergate.
Rappergate. Rappergate. And Pearl Islands, it didn't really have a gate, I don't think. They could have potentially had one at the very beginning where Rupert stole all their stuff. It could have
Oh
been
no, the fish
gate,
gate. Dumping the fish.
Fishgate, yes, Fishgate. Oh
That
my
was a
gosh.
late game gate.
Yeah, the late game gate, yeah.
Or
Sandra's
your
epic
past will
maneuver.
come back to haunt you gate.
Yeah.
That was
Your
fun.
past will come back to haunt you. Yes. Yeah, Sandra's epic maneuver there. That was
Chris
great.
got blamed for it. Very sad.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anything else? Well, they did have a little in the beginning. They had this little. They just paired up and had fun conversation. Not much really came of that. I was expecting something a little more spicy.
Yeah, it was just kind of like, all right,
Just like,
we're of this team and we think this. It was very very little.
mhm.
I was expecting some exciting action from Amber and
Amber and Jenna.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
yeah. So that's pretty much it. I mean, there's a lot there.
Yeah.
There was a fun little swap and
Yep. Couple of fun vignettes at the beginning, but it was really all about the lover drama and the strategy.
mhm.
Yeah. So
So
Great
potentially
episode.
merge next time.
potentially merged. That was a great episode. I'm giving that one a star. That was just spellbinding to watch. Kind of
Right.
redeemed the season right there. That was just a great episode. Again, like we said, on paper, that swap is really boring, but because of the added drama, it heightens that tension.
And the Godfather move. We just
Godfather
recently
move.
finished watching all the Godfathers. It's
We
hitting
had
home.
been. We have been. It's super means a lot to us. I mean, Rob, even in the season he was in Marquesas, had made a reference to the Godfather. That's a strategy that he employs, is that mentality. But
I'm pretty sure that confessional single-handedly got him on the season too, because I think that's part of what made him like so memorable was that confessional. It's like, you rule by fear. That's the Godfather.
yeah,
Just like this mafioso
yeah.
personality that he took up.
Oh yeah, I mean that's
Like,
why
if he didn't
that's
do
why he
that,
stuck out
he
to
wouldn't
me.
be out here at all.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah.
interesting, but yeah, going to the merge. If we do go into merge, what we did last season, which I'd like to do again, is do power rankings.
Mm-hmm.
We usually will let the merge episode go through, and then the next
Yeah.
episode we'll do power rankings after that.
Power rankings, good idea. Good idea.
All right, so you get to
Yeah.
see how it shapes out a little bit.
Mhm.
All right, so come back next week. More Survivor All Stars. We're in the double digits now, so it's like we're kind of in the second half of the season here.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a video you recommend our viewers watch after watching this one?
Sure, go watch our Godfather Part 1 review. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, go check
in
it out.
honor of
In honor
Boston
of Rob. Boston Rob. He's
and all the Robs who played Survivor.
yeah, we even had a reference to one of our favorite Robs, Rob, the skateboard Rob.
Rob Zabachnik.
Rob Zabachnik, who choked out.
He did, yeah, you got that in there. Some Clay Jordan choking.
I love the epic. They even like slowed it down where like and Clay's like, and it looks like he literally looks like he's choking him.
What was with those quotes they chose for the seasons? They chose a weird quote for Thailand where she was like, "You're too close," which I'm
Yeah.
assuming is in reference to Grind Gate, right?
Yeah, Gandhi.
I don't remember that quote. But why? Of course, it's
Yeah,
the
but-
memorable thing for Thailand that they had to put
Yeah.
on there.
I don't remember that happening.
It's like a
I don't
trip
remember
down memory
screaming, "You're
lane."
too close. Yeah,
But-
we may have to go. I don't know. We might have to go back and reference that.
But still, like, why
I
would
don't
you
know,
put
it's
that
weird.
on there?
Why would you put that in there?
In any context,
Yeah, I don't
knowing
know.
what happened.
Yeah, really knowing what happened. Yeah, that's kind of
It has to be something good. You should have said, "Freaking!" I didn't say anything about a merge. You could put that on there.
yeah.
But
Yeah,
then maybe
or
they read
something.
into that too much. But I mean,
Nah, but you just gotta Gandhi it up going on here. Yeah.
Ganja's fine, but not in
Gandhi,
that
yeah,
context.
but not that context. Yeah. If they'd mentioned Ted too, then that would have been like even worse.
Mm,
It would have been like, nah.
right. You could have
Yeah.
put his quote. I'm 150 to 200% happy with my wife.
Yeah. What percent? That should have been one of the trivia questions. How happy was Ted
How happy was Ted with his wife?
with his wife? 150 to 200%.
I wonder if they would have known that. And they're like, oh, yeah, I love that. This is awesome.
Yeah, yeah, I love that. It's my favorite. What profession was Brian the android?
Oh,
with
yeah.
His trophy wife.
He was a used car salesman.
The used car salesman.
What was the name of Brian's trophy wife? Would be a good one.
I don't remember.
I don't remember. I definitely knew at the time. It was like...
Dina? Darla?
It's not
What?
that.
Okay. And I hope you I turned into Rich Evans during the episode. I hope you kept it, but I was really pissed off because I mean, granted, we made fun of Dara basically the whole season, but that the one shot is like, who is the mortician? And they showed her bathing. I was like, what the hell is wrong with them? I was not okay with that. Normally we make jokes. I mean, I normally like, hey, bathing, yeah. But like that just felt weird. It just felt so bizarre and out of place, and I didn't like it. So, that was funny.
Yeah, 'cause that's not what you remember Dara for.
Yeah.
Could have have her like get the immunity necklace on, something.
Or her saying something like, "Well, he seems to be upright about it."
That's not the quote. He seems to be upright about it.
No, that wasn't the quote. I don't remember the exact quote.
It was
something
like,
about,
he's a snake, but he's honest sometimes too. Something like that. No, he's a snake.
Yeah.
He lies, but he tells the truth sometimes
too. Yeah, that's like... Okay, that's like the worst rationale I think I've ever heard to trust somebody. Like, what?
So you're gonna be right. Like sometimes, like going with them, it'll be the right option sometimes. So every now and then it'll work out.
Yeah, well, the logic, that makes sense. Well,
yeah.
Well, I mean, she is a mortician, so she's not dealing with the logic of people all the time. Ooh, that got dark. Anyway, thanks for watching.
Yeah, you always talked about her brain age IQ.
Yeah, my brain ages too. That's not even me. That's a reference to like a obscure video too.
I don't know what that is. Anyways, yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to our podcast feed. Like the video. Leave a comment. Hit the notification bell. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at Tarqaron TWO.
Absolutely.
All right.